All right, we're gonna go inside the lab now. I'm gonna configure VLANs. We're gonna create a VLAN. We're gonna name a VLAN. And we're gonna assign a VLAN. We're gonna do it a special way. I'm not gonna give away the surprise until we get in there. But I'll tell you this much: we're gonna do it right here. We're gonna name them. We're gonna create them. We're gonna name them, and we're gonna assign them down here. What? That's right. Let's get inside the lab and let's get this done. All right, welcome. And now we're in our VLAN lab. We're gonna actually create, name, and assign a VLAN. All right, but we're gonna do it in a special way. It's very easy just to go inside each individual switch, create the VLAN, give it a name, and then assign it to a particular port or ports. But we're gonna do it a little bit different in combination with other features that we're gonna talk about in detail now. We'll talk about it in detail later. But so you can see how things would work. So we're gonna go to our root bridge here and we're gonna verify. Always verify, ladies and gentlemen, always verify. As you can see, that switch was configured already with the common commands. So we're going to do show. What was I trying to do here? Okay, we're gonna assign the VLANs here. Okay, yeah. All right, so we're gonna do show VLANs. All right, and as you can see, we're all part of VLAN 1, the default VLAN. So we're gonna create the actual VLANs, which is VLANs 10 and 20, up on this bridge or the switch. All right, we're gonna do config T, and we're gonna do VLAN 10 name HR. VLAN 20 name account. All right, well, let's not put them in lowercase. We don't want to make them feel bad. All right, so we just created, let's copy this, and let's do show VLAN now. We just created and named 2 VLANs. Now, it is recommended that you name your VLANs. You don't have to. All right, and if you name a VLAN, meaning you instead of creating the VLAN first by doing VLAN 10, enter, for whatever reason, I've asked this question has been asked. Can I name the VLAN first and then, well, yeah, you could, but why would you do that? But the actual iOS is intelligent enough to say, all right, listen, this VLAN doesn't exist. We're going to go ahead and you want us to create it? Or not name it, assign it. They will tell me, hey, Laz, can I assign the VLAN before I create it? You know, the chicken before the egg? I don't know. I mean, but whatever. Yeah, you could. And then it's going to say, well, what VLAN do you want? It's not created. Do you want to create it? And you say yes, and it creates it. But don't do that. Okay? Create the VLAN. Name the VLAN. Now, you can see that it's not assigned to any ports. It's not assigned to any ports. All right, so we got VLANs 10 and 20. VLAN 1 is there by default and all switches. So the next thing that we're going to do, go back to global configuration. So we named it. We're going to go and build a domain name or domain, I should say. VTP domain. And we're not going to get to the details of this because there's a lecture on this. VTP domain LAS. Okay? And I'm going to show you it. Do show VTP stat. All right, when we get there, you'll see. And the reason you're getting this information, we'll explain everything when we get into this virtual trunking protocol lecture. But here's the domain name that I want to use because I want all our switches to participate within this domain name. If you don't have this domain name, then you cannot participate with our updates. All right. And finally, again, not getting into too much detail, I'm going to trunk a couple ports. And the ports that I'm going to trunk is ports 22, 23, and 24. And again, this is important. All right, this is important for it to happen, but I'm going to talk about it right now. But you need to do this. You need to trunk ports. I'll just give you the basics. Anything other than the native VLAN has to go across the trunk port. Anything other than the native VLAN has to go across the trunk port. But we'll talk about trunk ports later. All right, so we're going to go int range F0/22-24, and then we're going to go switch port mode and then trunk. Do WR. All right. And if you were to do a showing trunk, you see the ports are trunked, and this is the reason that we're doing it. All right. Not to mention other reasons as well. All right. But again, later. Now that we've done that, we've created the VLANs, we created a domain name, and we trunk the port. You see how things are changing here. The lights are turning from green to amber and so forth. All right. So we're done with this switch right up here. All right. And we're going to go to this particular switch right here. Let's maximize it. No, let's not maximize it. Let's restore it to its original size. I have a spooky guy there behind me. Keep me on my toes. All right. All right. So now, once we get over here to this switch, one of the things that we're going to do, and again, we'll talk about this in a bit. It already has the basic configurations on there. We're going to do BTP mode client. Okay. And then we're going to do show VLAN. And look at this. The VLAN showed up down here. So it cuts your job in half. You create the VLANs on the root bridge, on a one main bridge switch, and then you have the VLANs trickle down by themselves. So you don't have to create them anywhere. All you gotta do is assign them. All right, and let's do that. Let's assign the VLANs. So we're gonna assign it to ports 1 through 15. So we're gonna go int. Let's bring this down more. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go int range F0/1 through 15. Okay, enter. Switch port mode access. They must be access ports in order for you to do this. Switch port access VLAN 10. Do WR, do show VLAN. And now you see that VLAN 10, and what does it say? Oh, VLAN 10 is HR, correct? Yes. VLAN 10, right here, these are the ports that are assigned to it, right? So we assign those ports to VLAN 10. Awesome. So we're done. We're done. All right. We've created a VLAN. We've named the VLAN, and now we've assigned the VLAN, but we did it a little bit differently because we did the VLANs. We created the VLANs up here. We named them up here, but we assigned them down here. We had to do those little tricks that I showed you in order for that to happen. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the last switch here. Let's move it over here. And we're going to do the same thing. Config T. BTP mode client. All right, let's take a look to verify that those VLANs came down. They did. There's 10 and R right there, or 10 and R, 10 and 20. But we don't want that. We want to assign. Well, we want that, but I'm saying we want to assign just 20 though. So we go int range F0/1-15 switch port mode access. One too many S's. It can guess it needs an S, but if you put one more than it has to, it'll give you an error. Switch port mode access, and then we go switch port access. What about access? VLAN 20. Do WR. Do show int brief. Sorry, that was on a router. Do show VLAN. Do show VLAN. Or your show VLAN. Okay, so now we see here 20. That's accounting department. Is part of all these ports right here. So we've created the VLAN. We've assigned the VLAN. All right, we've named the VLAN. It's done. Now we've created them and assigned them up here. Like I said again, we had to trunk the ports, create a domain so everybody can be in the same domain. All right, but it cuts your work in half. They're trickling down for you, so you don't have to create them down here. All you have to do is assign them. All right, the benefits of creating these VLANs. All right, we're now logically segmenting the network. What happens in 10, meaning we've increased the number of broadcast domains. Meaning what happens in VLAN 10 stays in VLAN 10. If you're accessing printers, if you're going to the internet or whatever it is, It's not going to go outside VLAN 10. It's going to go into a direct path because now eventually everything's got to go to that router. And that router is going to be doing the routing to where it needs to go. So you're increasing the bandwidth on your network and you're securing it, because if you don't give access to a particular network to go into that VLAN, they won't be able to. Okay, they will not be able to. All right, so let's go ahead and that's it really. So that's it is just assigning, creating, naming, and assigning of a VLAN. All right, in a special LAS's way. I'll see you guys outside the lab. How cool was that? Huh? Cut your workload in half. You create the VLAN here, you name the VLAN here, then you create a domain in the VTP using the VTP protocol, right? VTP domain, LAS or whatever, Cisco, whatever you want to put. Okay. And then you trunk the ports accordingly. Obviously, these ports need to be trunked, and they'll get trunked dynamically, all right, because they're in dynamic auto. All right. This turns red because this guy's not on or doing anything. So that's why you see that red. But once we get there, you'll see how that turns on. And you see how the VLANs came down because we changed, this is a server. We changed the VTP modes down here to client, right? And then we saw how the VLANs came down. They came down. And then just assign whatever VLAN. We assigned to VLAN 10. I assigned it to VLAN 20 in the range of ports. That's it. But we had to turn the ports to switch port mode access. Keep that in mind. In order to assign the VLANs or to do any kind of security, they must be in switch port mode access. If not, it will give you errors. All right. But that wasn't too hard. That was very simple. See you in the next one.